it's going to be interesting to see how those quarterbacks at Ohio State perform. I know Wisconsin has a slew of quarterback transfers coming in, kind of who emerges there. You might get a clearer picture there on who the 2 or maybe 3 guys are that are battling for that job, but it's a wide open race. But the one that I'm most excited about is Jeff Sims at Nebraska. I just think there's a potential for a massive kind of unveiling of one of the better players in college football, because I think he's very undervalued at what he did at Georgia Tech going back to his freshman year. I mean, he wasn't as consistent a thrower as you want, but he is a dynamic athlete, and I think he's a much better thrower than people believe. I know I talked to a coach that was at Georgia Tech last year, and they were like, I'm telling you, this kid is special. Watch out for him.
You know, it's great that you bring up this Jeff Sims angle, because I don't know that a lot of people are talking about that because they assume that Casey Thompson's the starter. But obviously he brings a dimension that Casey Thompson doesn't. So if you can bring up that passing ability anywhere close to Thompson, then depending on how you want to run your offense and how you want to approach it, then that could be a deciding factor. And, you know, I kind of like it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the first names that pops into my mind when I think Jeff Sims and maybe what the ceiling could be as a thrower is what we've seen out of Jordan Travis for the last 2 to 3 years, where I said a couple of years ago, I said, you know, this guy's a dynamic playmaker, but he's not an ACC starting caliber quarterback by any stretch. He doesn't know where the ball's going half the time. And then he got better significantly the next year where he was capable. And then the next year he takes another huge leap, and maybe Jeff Sims is capable of doing something like that.
I think he is. I really think he is. And you know, I really like him on film, but just talking to coaches that were in the program with him has kind of elevated his stock to me. I feel like he's an untapped resource, and I really have faith in Matt Rule and his coaching staff that he compiled, that they're going to level that kid up. When it comes to just playing quarterback, outside of just being a great athlete. He kind of reminds me of Malik Cunningham a little bit from Louisville, where just a really dynamic athlete, not a great thrower, but can throw it. And I think that Matt Rule's the perfect coach and his staff to really polish him up as a true quarterback, because he's always going to be a freaky athlete. He's always going to be able to run. He's always going to have those traits. It's just, can they make him a consistent, accurate quarterback? That's going to be the big question mark.